Welcome to episode number 12 of Let's Go Comic Show. My name is Justin.
I'm Matt.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Let's just jump into stuff, man. So
let's do it.
Did you have a good free comic book day?
Yeah, it was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I took my two sons, headed down to the local shop. It's kind of a rainy day, so I mean, not a lot of lollygagging around or anything, but
it was a get in and get out.
Yeah, like you just kind of looked around. It was fun watching them look at old action figures that were like on clearance that they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
So like, what's this Spider-Man? I'm like, that is so lame.
It's like the old
so lame,
Fox Spider-Man cartoon action figures from like 20 years ago.
Or what was the giant like Wolverine looking dude?
From what?
I don't know. I feel like he's at our local shop. Like they have like 5 copies of like the same guy.
Oh, I don't know. Is he in like an X-Men guy?
Yeah. He looks like a version of Wolverine, but it's just like big, like bulking dude.
Big, bulky Wolverine?
Like they took like a mold for like...
Is it like a knockoff? It's like not... Oh, really? Like Wendigo?
I don't know. I feel like such a horrible comic book fan for such a vague description.
That sounds amazing.
Just to see different things like that, and they're like looking around at stuff and then trying to guide them toward the kid-friendly stuff. So one of my sons got the Bongo Comics free comic book day one.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't know how to read, so I'm fine if he just looks at pictures of Simpsons because I don't really have to moderate that content as much.
Yeah.
And he got a SpongeBob one.
See, I tried to push
who
that.
The publisher was.
Yeah, I think it's IDW who does that.
Okay.
Right? Possibly, I could be off.
Which actually looked kind of cool. Like there are a bunch of different
IDW.
styles of like almost like comic strip looking stuff in it.
I thought the cover looked cool, and I said, "Hey
I
guys,
thought it was way cool."
Yeah, because they only limited it at the store I went to. It was only 3.
Yeah,
so
same for us.
Okay.
It was each of us could get 3.
Yeah, so I was just like, "Well, you're not grabbing something. I'm going to grab something else."
I was like,
they didn't care.
I'm just going to decide for you because I want to read that. And then my other son, he got The Tick, and I convinced him to get Underdog, and he was like not super interested in it because he's not familiar with it, which is so sad to me because I loved that cartoon growing up. He's like, I guess like I'll get it. And then like a half hour later, he was thanking me. He's like, Dad, thanks for telling me to get this. This is the coolest. And he's like, he like reads it every day now.
Nice.
So that was good. And as far as like me grabbing stuff, I got I Hate Image. I got the Secret Empire free comic book day issue. And the Guardians.
Nice.
One, which I haven't read yet. I think that's the only one I haven't read.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much, our stories are similar. I took my 2 boys to the comic book store, and it was a rainy day. So we went, it was around 10 o'clock in the morning. We ran in there really quick, and there was a pretty decent size of people already at 10 a.m. Like, man, they're ready to go. So yeah, I got the Secret Empire? Secret Empire issue.
It's hard to keep them all straight, dude.
You know, I got the Guardians issue, which really kind of sucks because it's kind of a precursor to the issue that came out last week.
That you already read?
That I already read. And I was like, oh, well, it didn't spoil anything. It was just like a little more background, you know?
I felt like it was the same thing for Secret Empire.
Yeah.
It was fine filling in a little bit of blanks,
so let's just jump into spoilers on that. Like, the big reveal of, like, the pacing of it and the way the storytelling on it was really hard to follow, I thought. I was like, wait, what? But then the reveal, like Captain America picking up the hammer of Thor.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Was cool. Yeah, but I was just like, the way it... I had to go back and read it again.
Down on, like, this is Captain America. It's not a fake out. It's not something else. Like, I feel like everything they're doing is like, no, like, he's made this choice, but he's still the guy that's going to do what he sees as the right thing at any cost. Mm-hmm. Like, it just happens to be for Hydra.
Yeah, Hail Hydra.
Which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm cool. I'm glad you're buying it so I can read them when the other ones come out. So I think it's...
Sharing is caring. Man.
Yeah, I think it's a compelling story. So I got that. I got the I Hate Image. I haven't read it yet, though. I've just been I got a lot of stuff to read. My kid, too, got Underdog. He loves dogs. So when we were going through the table of, like, comics to get, like, he was like...
He didn't care that it was a superhero dog. He just liked that it was a dog. Like, that was the hook for him.
I knew he was going to say, I want that, because he was just looking. He's like, oh, Dad, they only have they have like Supergirl High or whatever it is. It's like all the girls superhero.
Oh yeah,
DC
I think,
superhero
I think
girls.
one of my kids picked up that as well.
I was like, well, get it for your nieces because they had one last year. Got it
Yeah.
for, So we got that. And I was like, well, what else did they got? I was like, dude, they got Underdog. I knew he was going to love it. He's like, I want that. Because he just loved, my kid loves, he was probably going to be a veterinarian. So he got Underdog. So he was really
Nice.
pumped on that. And then grabbed the Ninja Turtles, which I haven't looked through it yet. I kind of took it from him because it's not like Nick Ninja Turtles. It's like straight up Eastman and Laird like version of Ninja Turtles. So who knows? It could be a little dark for them. And then my younger boy got the Bongo comic special, which he has just recently like fell in love with the character of Bart Simpson through Lego Dimensions because he's finally got.
Same for my 5-year-old.
Yeah,
Like,
he calls him the kid. I want to play with the kid. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
what? He calls him the kid.
My son Dash calls him Bark.
Bart.
He doesn't understand like that Bart is a name. He's
Oh.
like, he kind of looks at me when I correct him.
So
Like he's
Bart.
like, that's dumb, Dad. That's not
Who
a real
who
name.
named the kid Bart? So yeah, he calls him the kid. I want the kid because he has a skateboard. And so, which is funny. After we went to Free Comic Day, we ended up going to downtown Disney and went to the Lego store.
Yeah.
And while we were there, I let the kids like build their own little character because you can build your own little Lego of you, and they had little shorts and little legs, and that's what he did. So Oliver was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make me look. I have legs like the kid." It's like, "Who's the kid?" Oh,
That's really funny.
So anyway, so
Like,
he was
Billy the
reading
Kid?
that. He was so pumped on that. He's like, when he saw it, he was like, "The kid." So he grabbed that and he got that comic and got the Wonder Woman. You know how last week we were like, oh, DC's got something secret planned. Nope, it was exactly what we said. Reprint of something else. And so it was just a reprint of the Rebirth stuff. And so,
Which I guess I was thinking about it this week. I was bummed about that because that means I didn't need to get it because I already had
Yeah.
Wonder Woman #1.
there you go.
But Wonder Woman's coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
So I guess
get
it makes
that.
sense for them to have something that
It's just-
it just would have been nice if they would have done something maybe
Yeah.
original or new.
Yeah, because that's the thing with
them?
Marvel. Marvel did the backup with because there's a Spider-Man backup in the
Yeah.
Secret Society deal, right? Is that what it's called? Secret Empire.
You're never gonna get it right.
Secret Empire, and then in the Guardians one, there's a backup of Defenders, so
Yeah.
which is actually really cool. So I was like,
So you have to check it out.
yeah,
Do you,
thanks for
do you
giving,
think you're going to get that book when it's out in June?
dude. I was actually thinking about it because
Right on.
it's just a good team. It's Bendis, and then it's David Marquez who was doing. He was doing New X-Men for a little bit, and then he was doing the Miles Morales Spider-Man book.
Oh,
And
nice.
His arts are really strong,
Yeah.
and he did Secret War Civil War too.
Secret Squirrel.
He did Secret Civil War,
Slappy.
Civil
Swami,
Secrets. so
Samson.
So yeah, it was like, oh man, I read it because I was just kind of like on like I was plowing through some comics and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I wish DC would have done that. Did it by itself? It's it's not like it's self-contained, but it gives a good like kind of a 0-issue prelude to what's coming up next. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that was really it for for Free Comic Book Day. I wanted to. Sometimes they have really good deals. I just didn't have time to kind of pilfer through stuff. But
Yeah.
our friend Logan
too.
actually went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Nice.
so
Way to go, Logan.
He was telling me he's like, yeah, man, I took the kids to Free Comic Day because he says I haven't been to a comic store in forever. So he bought X-Men #6 from like 1990.
Yeah.
It's literally got like Wolverine jumping on somebody and Psylocke with her leg up in the air. And I'm like, I feel like I have that comic, but that was like every Jim Lee, Chris Claremont X-Men comic.
Yes.
And then he bought like a Star Wars The Force Awakens like comic. Like it was some random, it was like #2. It was like random.
All right.
He was like, yeah, look cool. And it was cool because his experience was just like, oh man, I'm going to find something I remember. And then something I currently like dig. He just bought the cover. You can tell he didn't even open it because it was
Yeah.
still in the bag. And so he was really pumped though. He's like, yeah, man, it was cool. Like he said, this is what he said. And I've said it before. He said, it just has that cool smell.
There you go.
Hashtag smell them floppies. So there you go.
Just gonna
T-shirt
smell some
coming
comics.
soon. No, it's smell them floppies because that's what it is. It's floppy. Everyone calls them a floppy. It's either you got
It's
a trade
true.
paperback. No, man, I read floppies. So, anywho, that was it. Free Comic Day. It was what it was. But I do like when people start doing a little more celebration with it. The raffles and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was cool. They had a lot of pop vinyls on sale.
Really?
Dude, tons.
dude,
they were
none where I
they
went.
were like $5, but it was no one I cared about. It was like Game of Thrones guys.
Oh.
It was
That's too bad.
Just kind of the excess of like a lot of like, sci-fi characters. You're like, well, who's that guy?
Yeah.
But I remember last year we got like Big Hero 6 guy that they had one. So,
Oh, nice.
but yeah. Anyway, moving on. We're done
That's
with
cool,
that.
man.
So let's jump into some news.
Yes.
There's actually a lot of news. We're not even going to read all the news that's out, but we're going to go over a few things. So
Yeah. And so one of the things that stuck out to me was, I think everyone's aware of the popularity of Deadpool at this point.
yeah,
With Ryan Reynolds having that kind of smash hit last year. Deadpool 2, not Tool.
Deadpool,
Deadpool Tool. I'm not even going to go there. Deadpool 2 in the working. We got Deadpool animated series coming to FXX.
Wow.
Which I guess is like a part of like
It's probably
like
FX,
but with an extra X.
more. They're like, there's more X.
There's extra FX.
That's where all their X-Men properties will be airing. Probably, I don't know.
And the cool thing for me, at least, like I think it's interesting. They're doing an adult animated show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting in and of itself. But then you have Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover are going to write and executive produce the show, which I'm pretty excited about. I am a big fan of Donald Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Community, rest in peace, is one of my favorite shows in recent memory.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, Awaken My Love. That is not just saying that to Justin, but the record that Childish Gambino put out. And then, but also Atlanta was like his big thing last year. Did you ever get to catch any of that?
I haven't because it's not on Hulu or Netflix at the time. So once it gets
hopefully
to,
it's available in some way soon because I loved that show.
Really, yeah,
it was great.
I've heard many amazing things, so I would love to.
So I think he's got a really good comedic sensibility about him, but also a really solid writing outside of that, just good stories. And so I'm really interested to see what he does with that. How do you feel about the news? Deadpool?
It's cool. I mean, I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. Like, I just don't enjoy his comics. Like, I've read a few Deadpool comics here and there. The joke kind of gets old after a while for me. Yeah. But the movie was fun. Like, I like the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I like when he shows up in things. I think I'm a bigger fan of his like cameos than
a guest appearance.
Yeah, because he was on like Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and that was fun. Like when he showed up, like he's got a good back and forth with Spider-Man, so I could appreciate that. But Donald Glover being involved makes me like a little more like, oh, okay, I'll watch that because it's probably going to be written well and done well, and I don't have no like feelings except I will watch that.
I feel like I'm expecting it to be in the realm of like Family Guy and Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Is what I'm imagining.
Okay.
Like it's just going to be something you think is going to be straightforward and it's just going to turn it on its head.
Robot Chicken, yes. Family Guy, Family Guy's burned me out. I don't even.
Oh, dude, I haven't watched that in several seasons. Yeah. It's just what I'm expecting it to be like that. It probably be like that kind of a show.
Gotcha.
Cool, man. What else we got in news?
We got the Teen Titans and Young Justice Season 3 news, and that's part of the DC Network app or Warner Brothers, whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, so they're going to have their own streaming service.
Yeah. So is it a Warner Brothers streaming service, or is it a DC streaming service?
The article I just pulled it up says a DC branded digital service.
So I wonder what that means. Like, before we get into the shows and stuff, I wonder if it means like everything that
what that could include.
Yeah, does it mean everything they've ever produced, from like Super Friends to Batman the Animated Series to like weird things like Birds of Prey, like everything that they've ever
that could be really cool
made? Because if not, then it's we got these 2 shows on this network,
Honestly, even if it was just Batman the Animated Series on there, like that would go a long way.
I wonder how much it's going to be. Like it's probably going to be standard like $9.99. That's kind of what most of those things are. Like the WWE network's like $9.99, but it gives you access to all the pay-per-views, like which used to run you like $50 a month. So
that's true.
Anyways,
I think they'll include maybe the animated straight-to-video movies.
Yeah, I think exactly. That's the type of stuff they need to populate their channel with enough content to make their like the value. Like 2 shows isn't enough, but
Right. Well, they've got to have something else that's gonna launch with. I think that's probably their big announcement because there's been a rumor of a Titans show for a while.
yeah, well, there was supposed to be on TNT last year. They were shopping. It was the Titans and just kind of went nowhere. And they basically said, yeah, there's just too much of this type of television, so we don't want to jump in that pool anymore. But
yeah, it's interesting. So sorry, I mean, I just said it. We didn't talk about it, but they announced that. Let's see, I want to get it right. Executive producers Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Johns, Greg Berlanti, and Sarah Schechter. I'm gonna guess if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah,
are teaming up for all new live action drama series Titans, which will debut in 2018.
yeah, and all of these people are basically the people that are in charge of the CW stuff. Like every one of them is either with Legends or Flash, Supergirl, and all these things. So,
which brings the question to my mind:
is it going to be good?
Well, there's there's that question.
And does it tie in?
More, yeah. Does it tie in, and what does that mean for stuff that's currently on CW?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that seems to be spread around a little bit. And I know this last year the CW took their stuff off of Hulu.
Yeah,
because they wanted people to direct just to their app specifically.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, I can watch it on the CW app through like Apple TV. So that's how I watch those shows anyway. So
I'm more curious what this would mean to it. Like if it's going to have an effect on.
It's interesting. It's kind of, again, the TV model is just moving to like you buy what you want to watch is really, which I prefer. Like, hey, that can be a little more streamlined in what I want to, watch from and pull from whatever.
Totally.
What I do hope is that these shows are available on iTunes or something like that. Because I think I would rather
you want to be able to own them as well.
Own them than than stream it, and hopefully that's an option as well. Like, hey, either you pay the $10 a month for the app, and you have access to everything, which I think that's probably what it is. They're going to anchor it with these 2 shows, but it would be. I think it would be smart to release them also on iTunes if they're good, because I'll check out the pilot at least. Okay, so here's where my only like not even reservations, but my concern is like, man, they're working on a Nightwing movie, but they're gonna put Nightwing as a star of this thing. And I know we have Flash in the movie and Flash in the TV show and all that stuff like that, but to me it just like save them for the movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like the only one thing they've really confirmed so far is Beast Boy. Because Jeff Johns tweeted out a picture of.
No, they said
Beast Boy, right?
Nightwing was going to be leading the team, and it was going to have Starfire and
I see
Raven.
That right now, yeah.
And I was
including Starfire, Raven, and many others.
Yeah, so
Dick Grayson emerges from the shadows to become the leader of a fearless band of new heroes.
Yeah, and so what if this ties into the movie stuff? Probably not, but I'm just, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's going to be terrible, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like any of the stuff, I want it to be good. Yeah. Like I want good stories, and I like these characters. The other part of this announcement for the streaming service is Young Justice Season 3.
That's what I'm pumped on, dude.
Outsiders.
There you go. Batman and the Outsiders? Is it alluding to that, or is it just...
alluding to Bloodhaven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. It seems like it's going to be pretty big. I know that people have, like, different voice actors have talked about coming back in and starting to do work.
They had really good voice actors on that show.
Yeah.
So they were able to get a good range of people. So, yeah, man, that's the one. I remember
Danny Trejo as Bane.
As Bane, yes.
That was great.
Right? Like,
right up there. I mean, Tom Hardy barely edges him out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a combination? What would a combination between Danny Trejo and Tom Hardy's Bane sound like?
Oh, man. Hey, I don't know.
That's just saying, hey.
Hey, how are you, man?
That's horrible.
Oh yeah, that's
bad.
That's how it would be. That's how it would have sounded like. So, yeah, I'm excited for that though. Young Justice. I wish it wasn't predicated on the idea of we have to sell toys.
I feel like this means it's not going to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's...
It was before, and I hated that. Because the toys weren't good, and they were super expensive, and you couldn't find them anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. My kid never got any.
Of course I'm not going to buy them if you're setting me up for failure.
Yeah. Bad idea. So,
crazy, man.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, gosh. You know what that just reminded me of? Remember that Green Lantern animated series?
Oh, dude,
that was a good series.
Good.
That was, like, there's part of me that...
Bader as...
as
Guy
Guy Gardner.
was the best.
Remember that line they had? They're like, "Well, who's been taking care of Earth? I don't know, some Green Lantern named Jon Stewart, the funny news guy."
Oh yeah.
Remember that? That was funny. Yeah, that was actually a really good show. I wish that would be on Netflix again because
Dude, that's still don't even get me
fun.
started on my rant about Green Lantern animated series and how
that was great.
the movie, like, you had a cartoon
Yeah,
that laid out the story perfectly
Yeah.
for you to do.
yeah,
All you had to do was do what they did, but with real people, and it
Exactly.
would have been incredible.
yeah.
Instead of the
Sad.
convoluted mess. That
So
it
do you
was.
think that cartoon series takes place in the same universe as like the Bruce Timm stuff, like the Justice League, and because it has that same style and
it has the same animation style, but I feel like the
I mean, it's
storytelling
3D.
feels different.
really, okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. I just one of the things that they talked about when we totally sidelined into something else, but when they
No,
were
that's
making that show, they were doing digital scans of just Justice League action figures from like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just to kind of do models of
Yeah.
like to do. 3D
They all
models
definitely
of
had
characters.
that like
look.
triangle.
Yeah, well, they're definitely like Bruce Timm
Yeah.
designs, but yeah, it's such. I love that series. Bring that back. Let's get Green Lantern Series 2.
Well, they had
It kind of.
well, they had season 2.
Well, I mean,
They just kind of ran right into it.
yeah,
And it was a really good, to their credit, they actually told a complete story. And it
yeah,
felt
but we
like a
didn't
good
get to.
ending
We
to
didn't
it.
really get a good like. I wanted a Sinestro War,
Yeah.
and we were
They
kind of
set
hinting
all
at
up,
it.
man. They just
And
didn't
then-
have the violet
Yeah,
lanterns, right? That was the only
yeah,
ones they
because
were
we got
missing.
Saint Walker, and we
Did
didn't
we get
get.
Larfleeze?
Oh man, I don't remember. It's
I don't
been a
remember.
while.
I feel like maybe Larfleeze was in it.
I don't know, man.
The Red Lanterns were a big part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
Atrocitus was at the very beginning. Like we had all those guys.
And they hinted at the Yellow Lantern stuff
Yeah, we were just
multiple
getting
times.
there.
Oh, dude, the Hawkman. Do you
Yeah,
remember that
okay,
episode?
yeah. Remember where he had a fight.
That huge hawk guy
Yeah.
that had the lazy eye.
Yeah. See, that was such a fun show. Oh
was
man,
so good.
And the voice actor was great who played Hal. Like the whole thing was great. So, anyways,
Atrocitus on that show was freaking rad.
oh yeah, and then
Dude,
who
they
was-
killed a Green Lantern in like the second episode.
yeah, that little
Where you're like,
little cute one. He just like, what the heck? Yeah, it was deep. It was good. That was a man. Okay, if you guys have the abilities, just go buy it like on Amazon, or I think you can buy the episodes on iTunes.
Yeah,
Such
Green
a
Lantern
good
animated
Green Lantern
series.
animated series. Great. Yeah, that was a good show. Anyways,
Dude,
what do you
that was
think?
a great show. That
Yeah, it
just
was,
reminds
huh?
me-
Now
they
we're all
need to have
sad.
that on
We're gonna do a separate
DC
podcast on the Green
DC
Lantern.
Direct or whatever you want to call it. Direct DC TV.
What was it? Oh yeah, remember they had the little section on.
What would you call it?
if we had DC TV?
Yeah, their direct to consumer streaming service, DC branded. What should they name it?
DC TV.
I'm so disappointed in you right now. That
Sorry,
was an
man.
opportunity to
It's-
come up with some crazy name.
I'd have to think about it. We'd have to do some drafts and write stuff on the board and
Take it to the whiteboard.
take it to the whiteboard. So
You need
yeah,
a couple
I don't
more
know.
beers
I just-
before you do that.
Yeah, just get a couple more in me. Yeah, man. I don't know. I have no idea what I would call it. Dude. Probably just with branding. You just want to call it DC. You don't want to get
DC
any
TV.
probably DC TV or DC. Probably something
DC
like DC
Direct
to
or
you. DC
Oh
Direct.
gosh, DC to you.
DC.
The number 2,
Yes,
the letter U.
but like it's not a U. It's like the
DC
ultra.
to you.
It's like the
it's Ultraman's logo.
Ultraman's logo.
Like I feel like we're sending mixed messages, guys.
Yeah, it'd probably just have to be DC like,
And the D is
in your pocket or something.
actually
like that.
Dead Man. And
Sure, that's what the
Just
Defenders
be
logo
so
is.
messed.
It's just all the different like letters from the logos.
oh yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, no idea.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Green Lantern animated series. The moral of that side little trail is
Didn't make any money because there was no toys. They didn't even make toys for that. I
they
don't
made
even
some.
not for the Green Lantern animated.
Yeah, they did. It was the same thing to where
Dude.
they were just impossible to find.
No, they never made any.
Dude, I saw them.
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet?
I don't want to bet anything.
They made no action figures for that line. They made Green Lantern movie action figures, but they made no.
They made Green Lantern animated series action figures.
How much you want to bet? Okay, we're gonna pause the show. Okay, so the results are in. Matt, give us the results of the Green Lantern animated series action figure line.
The best I can find are Happy Meal toys.
Yeah. So They didn't make the action figures. There were a few molds that kind of made it.
Sworn I saw them at the
I
store,
know.
dude.
Maybe your heart saw them, but retailers said no way because Mattel was ready to go in production, but since the Green Lantern movie toys did not sell very well, they did not want to buy more
These
Green
would have
Lantern action
sold
figures.
so much better.
I know, but
I would have bought them, guys.
yeah.
You can't cancel a show for not selling toys if you
Yeah.
don't make toys. That is too bad. You could have had a Guy Gardner.
I could have had a Guy Gardner, but I used to have a guy
well.
do my gardening, but his name
All
was
right.
not Guy.
Well,
so.
we should wrap up this rabbit trail.
Yeah. So
Green Lantern, go
Compelling-
watch that.
compelling
guys.
stuff.
Green Lantern, the animated series. If you haven't watched it, you need to check it out. If you've watched it, revisit it.
Yeah, good show.
Go watch it again.
And then-
Enjoy some
and then
good
watch,
Green Lantern storytelling.
Yeah, and
That
watch
apparently
Titans.
can't happen anywhere else.
Yeah, did watch Titans and season 3 of Young Justice when that comes out.
Hey.
There you go. So, all right.
I feel like real quick, like just
Yeah.
most of the news this week has seemed to be either animated versions of live action things or live action adaptations of animated or comic book things.
Well, that is the world we live in. So, okay, did you hear about this thing?
Yeah.
Hellboy
probably did.
Hellboy 3 is not going to happen. Kind of a bummer because like everything like Guillermo del
Dude.
Toro was doing was awesome, and Hellboy 2,
Did they
the
ever say
Golden Army.
why they didn't do it? Because I felt
He's
like
just-
Ron Perlman like did like a last final push. Of
Yeah.
Like, hey man, like let's do this.
I just think Hellboy never set the world on fire. It was never like a blockbuster.
But boom.
Hey, there you go. But man, the Golden Army was amazing. Like if you watch the Golden Army,
I like the first one more.
really?
Yeah.
They're both great, but the Golden Army, dude, that movie is amazing. Like all the practical
Really?
effects, dude. That thing is more
I
Star
don't know if I
Wars
would call it
than
amazing.
fair enough. It was really good. Most people who are a fan of Hellboy love the Golden Army.
Okay, maybe I'm just not a fan, a true fan.
Yeah. So here's where my heart breaks. I love Ron Perlman as Hellboy, and I love Del Toro, but it's just not going to happen. So, but this week, Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, said not happening, but they're rebooting it.
Rated
and
R.
yeah, rated R. And the guy David Harbour from Stranger Things, who played the cop Jim Harper, he is going to portray Hellboy, which I think,
Say Jim Harper.
yeah, Jim Hopper. Sorry, Jim.
It's like he was Guardian.
Yeah. Well, not on Supergirl. That'd be Jimmy Olsen. Oh, dang, guys.
Dumb.
Deep cuts. So, yeah, so he is up to play Hellboy. And I don't know, like, how far in production or what's going on.
curious to
But
see it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it has to be at rated R. That right there makes me
It's
a
the
little...
world we live in, man.
Yeah, I think there is something endearing of Hellboy. I think they did a great job in the movie of painting like who he was as a kid and that story. And
Yeah.
there's
I don't know.
a
Hellboy
cuteness
doesn't
to it.
seem out of the realm of possibility for a rated
Rated
R
R.
movie.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. But I like the idea of it being like not a hard R. That's all. I don't think it's Deadpool. It doesn't hit Deadpool. Like it doesn't have to be like Deadpool. I think the other one, the tone was perfect. The tone was incredibly like it was monstrous and adventure and
But it's still kind of dark.
yeah, still dark, and so it's fine. It is what it is, but that's really all there is. So
I loved the first one.
yeah, so who knows? I don't know if they're trying to build a universe. Everyone's trying to build a universe. I don't know if they're going to get into the
Just
BPRD.
tell good stories, guys. Stop
So-
building universes.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean that's really it on that. So
Yeah.
looking forward to see that movie because it's been a while. It's been like 2008 was when
Has it been that long?
2008 was when the Golden Army came out.
Wow.
So if they were going to make a sequel, they're 10
Yeah,
they're
I
10
bet.
years behind. So
The ship has sailed.
yeah, so yeah.
Any other news we want to get into? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that is it, man. That is it. So
News.
Okay, so moving on to new things. So we're gonna try a new segment out on the show.
Yes, we are.
We had a couple friends on Twitter tell us, "Hey, you guys should make a whole segment about what's trash juice out there in the world of comics." So
Here we go.
here we go. All right, so if you read comic books, you might be familiar with the comic book site, comicbookresources.com. Now, I'm not here to speak against anybody who works there or writes for them and all that stuff. There is a lot of cool information that you can get on cbr.com. I will say over the last few years, they have changed their model of like how they write stories and interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're becoming more of a clickbaity kind of site. If you don't know what clickbaity is, congratulations. That means you're not on the internet as much as others are. But usually it's just a way to get
or
people.
you just click on everything and you are part of the problem.
You are part of the problem. So, it's a lot of like misleading headlines or ways to maybe antagonize people and to bring them to your site so you can, click through all their stuff. And then they get paid because they have ads and,
They get paid
based
for those
on
clicks.
Yeah, based on ads, they get paid and all that stuff. So,
So if you throw the more outlandish you throw out there, the better.
yeah. And so yesterday, this one hit my feed, and I forget who tagged me in it originally. It may have been freaking Ryan Haas and his mess.
Instigating,
but
man.
His instigations. Possibly. I'm just going to blame Ryan. So what they put out there was the 15 reasons Batman is the worst hero and man. And before we get into it, like, here's the thing. Like, you can be a non-Batman fan. Just saying that is annoying. That's just an annoying thing to say, because is Batman the worst hero? I think we'd
that's
overall agree. He's and
that's not even like annoying. Like, that's just like, come on, guys.
that's like, oh, okay. It's not like he's like Vibe. Okay, Vibe may possibly be the worst hero, and there's Vibe fans out there, and I'm a fan of Vibe on the Flash TV show, but I'm just saying, if someone said that, it's not as controversial. If you say Batman is the worst hero, and then in parentheses and man, you're just trying to like get people to go to your
So you're like
site.
trying to say that he's like just a horrible person in general?
Yeah. So for the sake of journalistic, investigations, I went through and we're not going to read all of them, but some of the reasons why. So number 15, he almost got every meta-human killed. That makes him the worst.
What?
Well, they're talking about stories like Tower of Babel and stuff like that, where he has a plan to take out everybody if need be. I don't know how that makes him.
Villains take advantage of that and use it, not him.
Yeah, that
does not make him the worst.
Doesn't make him worse. Okay, so 14, he spends his time plotting to destroy his friends. Similar situation. There's the Batman Endgame storyline. He's a straight up sociopathic. He's just a guy with a belt. That's my favorite. He's just a guy with a belt. So based upon this person's opinion of the character of Batman, and kind of, I'd actually say Matt Ritchie almost said this a few episodes back.
Oh man,
Batman is just a guy who's
I'm
rich.
getting dragged into the trash juice right now.
No, I'm kidding. You're not in the trash juice. I'm joking. But they're just trying to say, oh, he's just a guy with a belt. So
I wouldn't say that.
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't understand. He's had training. He's incredibly smart and has lots and lots of gadgets, but he's just got a belt. And so
I
I'm
feel
like,
you don't even need to read through that list.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the fact that is a title.
yeah,
Is like, you don't care about the content of what, like, you literally was like, how many things can I come up with
oh, dude, no, this is
just to fill this?
he's irresponsible with his wealth. What? I feel like
The
he's got
wealth that he
he's
uses to save,
to save people and
save the world.
the Wayne Foundation, and like, here's the thing about Batman. He even, if we want to get into like his rule of not, killing and things like that, it's because he is into rehabilitating people, even when like, there's always, I like the story when there's like the guy who's like, oh, check out the Wayne Foundation, they'll help you out, and that's just Batman's way of like, we can help this guy. Everyone still has a chance. So like, okay, he's out of touch with society. I don't know how that makes you a bad hero. That's stupid. He clearly isn't solving any problems. It sounds like they basically want him to murder
Did they watch
people.
the Nolan movies? Is that what they're basing this off of?
Possibly. He's a terrible example for kids. There's like an arrow. You've just been drafted into a war. Also, Batman's not real, guys. Just FYI. It's a fun story that
Think
we
of
read.
the children.
Think of the children. He's bad at parenting.
Okay, here's how I would be okay with this article. Is if it was totally tongue-in-cheek,
Yeah.
just goofy. Like, then I can get behind it, because then you're just trying to be funny. Like, it's like a joke article.
Yeah.
But if you're actually trying to legitimately prove to me that he's the worst,
Yeah.
like, do you understand the other heroes that are out there?
Yeah.
You have Netflix Iron Fist out there in the world. Like, you're saying he's worse than that?
Batman is worse than Netflix Iron Fist. That's the article we need to write. Can we just write that?
Oh, dude, we will write that.
Who's worse? No, actually, that's a whole other article. Who is worse?
Put them like side by side comparison.
Okay, the next episode of Let's Go Comic Show, we're actually just going to talk about who's worse than clarifying Netflix version of Iron Fist, and we're going to have a top 10 list. So that's going to be brought to you by me and Matt and maybe a special guest.
Oh,
Okay,
gosh.
so here's my favorite. He is a garbage detective. So everyone basically calls him what? The world's greatest detective.
But
CBR,
apparently
nope.
everyone else is really, really
They're
bad.
wrong because he's a garbage detective. Again, I'm not going to read any of their points.
He
'cause
detects
they're
garbage?
stupid. He's yeah.
Just searches through the garbage, man.
He's a horrible scientist. Come on. His one.
I just don't
rule.
understand. Like, I haven't pulled this up because I think it's ridiculous. And
Yeah,
I
don't give him any
refuse
clicks.
to give them the satisfaction. Do they give any basis for this, or is it purely
Yeah,
opinion? Do they
no.
say like this comic or this issue or this story?
I'm not trying to read through the whole thing because their points are like super thin. So number 3, he's not always there when you need him, and it's got a picture of from no man's land, and it's like, how's Batman going to stop an earthquake? It's
Wow.
just, oh man,
You are okay. So you're the worst because you couldn't prevent a natural disaster.
well, like where'd he go? There's something about where was he for 3 months? So,
Ask Christopher Nolan. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe he just didn't feel like
we're
being
not
Batman
getting
anymore.
that. He's petty. My favorite is this. He's petty AF. So fill in the blanks on
Oh
AF.
gosh. Did they actually use the shortened version AF?
Yeah, they actually put it. So, and number 1 reason, he's a cruel philanderer. The picture, the file type is called Batman Abusive. Bruce Wayne is heroic, good-looking, and wealthy. On the surface, he seems like quite the catch. But when you look at his broad history, you'll find he can really be quite licentious. In Batman Beyond 2.0, dang, it's not even like...
What?
It's written by Kyle Higgins and
Yeah.
whatever. It was revealed that he
Because
got...
that's a core
Oh my gosh.
Batman story.
right? Give me the top
Just
5
a
Batman
classic
stories.
Batman story that we
So-
base all of our opinions on.
This is actually really hilarious. So it says in Batman Beyond 2.0, by the way, which number 28, it's revealed he got Barbara Gordon pregnant, which is just creepy, and that's the beginning. Even outside the branch of the DC universe, he's a cold womanizer and can't seem to handle
Wait,
his double life
so
after getting involved with a woman.
No, I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. We are basing the character of a fictional person
Yeah, off his fictional
On-
future.
on what a writer has decided to tell the story.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
like
It's
for what
like
the
Captain
writer is
America.
writing.
It's like the whole Captain America thing that's going on.
Batman is a horrible person because this
Yeah.
writer decided that he does Barbara Gordon.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. Anyways,
I don't understand why that's it. Well, anyway,
here's why. Because CBR, you are the first recipient of This Week in Trash Juice. There you go, CBR.
I will throw in there honorable mention
Honorable mention.
because it's more personal to my heart.
Oh, yeah. This
Is
is good.
right below that in Twitter feed. I read Justin's response to that, and then I scroll down and I see it's like 15 reasons why The Flash is worse than Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which, that's just offensive. That's disrespectful,
Oh,
guys.
man.
Like that's not even like sort of ironic and funny. Like, come on. It's not the best season in the world this season. I'll give you that, but
Here's the thing.
worse than Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow is the B movie of the CW network shows, and I say that as a fan of that show. I think that show is silly, it's stupid, but it's funny, and I have a good time when I watch it. I'm not expecting like
Yeah.
all the drama.
It's not enjoyable for me. I will say that.
It is what it is.
Anyway,
But
that's
anyways,
offensive.
CBR
This week
you are trash juice.
in Trash Juice. CBR lists. Boo.
Yeah. All right, Matt. So let's move on to better things. Let's get into some comics, dude. Let's
Talk about happier things.
Let's smell them floppies, dude. It's time to smell some floppies.
I think
dude.
before we do that, we need to talk about, as we talk through these, we'll rate them.
Yeah, we are going to rate these things.
And so just a real quick rundown. We won't bore you with all the details.
Yeah.
But on the Let's Go universe of shows, we have our rating system. It
All
is-
two.
What?
All two.
Dude, it's an entire universe of
Yeah.
two. A universe of two. That's
There
like,
you go. That's the name of our
would
record.
that be like a romantic way to describe your marriage? Like, would that impress your wife?
yeah.
Like, we're a
Babe,
universe,
universe
of
of
two.
two. That's
and
made
those
2
and
more.
those other little planets that
Those
tag
other
along.
guys. Yeah, they're not really planets. Like, they're like our kids are like Pluto.
Asteroids.
Eh.
It might be a planet someday.
One day.
We'll decide.
As of now.
Anyway, rating system. If it's trash juice, if it falls in there with CBR lists,
Yeah.
it's a don't go.
Yeah.
If it's a little better than that and we're feeling pretty neutral about it, it's a go.
Yeah, it's a go.
If we're feeling positive about it and we're like, hey, you should check this out, so let's go.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna start like moving towards like judging you if you don't take it,
Like, what's
take a
wrong with
look
you?
or check it out,
Why don't you like this?
that's got to go.
Yeah.
That's when Justin starts arguing on social media.
Yeah. I will argue with you on social media. This is really good. Or, oh my gosh. So, sorry, side note.
That's okay. That's the rating system. We got through
There
the
you
rating
go.
system. We can go on a rabbit trail now.
2 rabbit trails. Like Kelly on Let's Go, he likes to add a 5th called Never Go. It's like
How
right
can
below
you get
trash
lower
juice.
than a don't go?
It's there's have you ever said, hey man, don't go to that? Like, why'd you go? I told you not to go. Oh man, I just want to see for myself. Well, his thinking is like, there's that time where you just never go to that. Like, you need to listen. And
I'm telling you.
Anyways, we don't have to go that far down the list. Like, we're hoping that you just listen. Like, trash juice should explain it to you. Like,
Yeah.
who wants trash juice? Like, that's nasty. That's
Yeah.
why we say trash juice, because it is the worst of the worst.
Unappealing.
Unappealing. It
not something you
smells
wanna wear.
bad. You don't want to put it on your shoes and then walk on somebody's carpet. That is disgusting. So, anyways, so other things. Last week, speaking of Twitter, somebody, I don't know if it was our friend Tom,
I feel like I saw
or
this.
you saw this, and
conversation.
so the conversation was
happened.
like, oh, something about Back to the Future 3 and how it's terrible. And then
You stirred the pot on this one, huh? You totally did.
you know what? It was fresh in my head because we just talked about the Dark Knight Rises when we recorded last week. And so I was just being
Did
silly.
we talk about that again last
Remember
week?
we were talking about, hey, if there was a sequel that you would change, like parts or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Sorry.
in my
Yeah,
head,
for sure.
I don't even remember what I put. I think I put like Spider-Man 3, something probably, I don't know. I don't know what I put. And Dark Knight Rises. Dude, over 800 back and forths on this thing.
No.
Dude. Yes.
That many?
Yes. I want to make a PDF and just print it out and make a book called How Not to Engage in Social Media. It was actually really funny.
Called
It just,
Don't
after a while.
Attack Dark Knight Rises.
Well, after a while, it just became like, here's the thing. It was always very civil,
Yeah.
but it's
caught
kind of like ribbing, you know what I'm saying?
The portion of it.
Yeah,
Like all
yeah.
the BOF guys, I followed that portion of the
Yeah,
of
and
the
so-
conversation at least.
Yeah, so we have a friend, Tom McKellen, and it was really him, and he's from England. And so one day I would actually like to have him on the show because he's actually like got a really fun personality online. But anyways, I think he started it. I was pretty sure he started it, and it went on forever. There was points where he's all, "Don't tag me in this conversation anymore. I'm trying to sleep." Dude, my phone was really going zzz, zzz, like it was bad. Anyways,
You love this kind of thing, though.
I do, but at one point I was like, I'm done, man. I'm done with this conversation. I have no more thoughts on The Dark Knight Rises. I really don't. Like, if you love it, I'm glad. If you don't
What
like
boiled
it,
down
that's
to?
cool.
Like, what caused the back and forth, you think?
People are very passionate about The Dark Knight Rises as a movie. Like,
On both sides of
yeah,
it?
yeah. Like, I mean, my opinion is I don't hate the movie. There's parts I really don't like and I don't understand. It's like when someone's completely like into something and you just like, I don't get it. Like, okay, I like Star Trek. Okay, I don't like Star Trek. I don't hate it. I just don't get it. Like, I'm not entertained by it. I can watch new movies, but
Same as
Sorry, Star
like
Trek
the
fans.
Hobbit stuff.
there you go. Hobbit. I can't get into Lord of the Rings. Yeah, okay.
Dude, we all can be wrong.
And
It's
I
okay.
and I understand. Here's the thing: I understand why people like it. Dark Knight Rises. I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, love The Dark Knight. Love Batman Begins is like one of my favorite Batman movies. The Dark Knight Rises almost ruins them for me because of like the outcome.
See, I'm not gonna like get on a Twitter war over it.
Yeah.
But it 100% ruins the other two for me.
Does it? Okay. Well,
Oh yeah.
that's a
There are very few movies where the third movie retroactively makes the ones before it worse.
Oh, Godfather 3. I think I said Godfather 3
Oh,
is,
yeah.
is the worst. But yeah, anyways,
Anyway, yeah,
I don't
you
wanna
did
get
do that,
into-
dude. That did happen.
I didn't. Here's the thing: I don't ever want to start a fire. I really don't.
But
I
you
really
will keep blowing on it to keep it going.
I if I need to, I guess. It was kind of like it was more of a tongue in cheek kind of like type of thing, and it just became whoa.
No, it
And-
looked like people were taking that pretty seriously.
yeah,
dude.
and then the rest of the guys on Batman on Film, they actually really like the movie, and so I'm like the black sheep when it comes to that because they always get me for liking Batman Returns because I just like Batman Returns. I don't know what it is. I recognize the goofy like stuff with the penguin and stuff. Like, that's not my favorite interpretation of that character, you know. But for a
really?
Tim Burton film, it's like okay, it's
Batman's way better than that, I feel like.
what
The first one.
that. No, I'm not saying it's my favorite Burton movie. I do. There's something about.
You do have an affinity for it, though.
I don't know what it is. I think it's the sets. I love the sets in it. I just love kind of the feel. The music's better. Like the Danny Elfman score's better.
Yeah. No, I mean, those first two movies, like the first one kind of touched on it. Like I feel like that neo-Gothic
Yeah.
like kind of thing. But it still felt like a real city and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then Returns felt like when we're like, nope, we're just diving head first and just embracing this aspect.
Yeah,
Totally.
it felt way different. Like this one was actually like filmed on a soundstage, and you can tell. But I didn't mind it. I kind of liked the feeling of it. The first one just felt claustrophobic and gross, and how I feel like Gotham should be. Anyways,
for sure.
whole other episode. Okay, let's get in the comics. Let's get into some stuff that we got.
Yeah. I feel like I always go first on this. Do you want to go first and talk a little bit about what you got?
Yeah.
And maybe we can, because I think we got like different things this week, and then we can talk about. I think Bug is probably the main thing we want to.
Yeah,
talk about.
that's the one we've been actually looking forward to for a few
Did you
months
get any
now.
other stuff between the last time we recorded and now?
Superman 22. Oh, I got Guardians of the Galaxy 1, which came out last week, but I was able to get it at Free Comic Book Day. And let me tell you, that comic was way fun.
Cool.
Yeah, and I actually really like the Guardians run that came out a few years ago, and by it was
that
Bendis,
Abnett? Oh, no,
Bendis,
Bendis.
and then Sarah. I can't think of her last name, but she actually worked on Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales as well, and it was such a fun book. And I think it started off actually with Steve McNiven. I think he started drawing it.
Oh, nice.
I may be wrong, but that book was really fun to me. A lot of people really love that book. Some people don't. Some people really don't like the direction it took. Rocket's characterization is really terrible in the first few issues of it, but then it evens out. But I kind of fell off of it at the end. So anyways, I wanted to give the Guardians book a try again, and this was really fun. It
That's
kind of,
cool.
especially if like you just watched the movie, it does a good job at like
Check out episode 11.
yeah, check out episode 11. There you go. Check it out. Leave a review on iTunes. That would be amazing. So, yeah, it ties in pretty well to stuff you may have seen. There's something going on with Drax that I'm not aware of. So he's kind of like in this pacifist mode. So I'm curious, like, oh, what's going on with that? You know? And Baby Groot's in this. So Groot is a baby in this, and there was some war or something they were a part of. And
Interesting.
so I'm spoiling this comic, by the way. So did you read it yet?
Spoilers. I have not read
Oh,
it yet.
sorry. So Baby Groot, something happened to him too. Like there's a reason he's not growing up. Like they're like, even Gamora says he's regenerated faster before. What's going on? And they're like, we don't know. And so at the end of the movie, it felt like a movie. At the end of the comic, there's somebody planting these little pieces of Groot in like this, like, you know, big, like, you know,
Like an orchard.
basically like an orchard of Groots. So
That's
it's
cool.
Yeah, it was,
I'm going to read it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely in for the next issue. And
Oh, what would you rate that guy?
oh, dude, yeah, I would actually say it's a let's go. It wasn't like what, but I'm glad I picked it up. I'm going to stick with it for at least 6 issues. Give it that 6-issue try.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a good comic. So, if you're a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy and you're like pumped on the movie, check it out. And so, yeah, again, I'm giving the all new. Actually, the title is All New Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's by Aaron Cooter, who's the penciler, and he actually did some of the New 52 Superman stuff. And I really like his art. It's very clean. It looks really good. Like he's got a good grasp on like aliens and stuff, and it's fun. Like they actually like kind of travel. They show up in this like Galactus shell, and so everyone's freaking out. Look, it's Galactus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then
The colors are really fun too.
Oh, yeah.
Just in flipping through it.
the colors are definitely like they kind of feel like the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and the Thor trailer. And so, yeah, and then it's written by Gary Dugan. And the cool thing about it is when I was reading, they kind of have like a letters page at the end, and it feels like they've been working on this for like 6 months already. So they may have the first storyline kind of wrapped up and ready to roll. And so as we move forward with the Marvel, how Marvel's going to kind of put everything back to original numbering. I don't know where this is going to fall in that. If they're going to just
Are they putting everything back to?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it may just be like core books. It may be like X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, whatever. Who knows? But anyways, this comic is a let's go, and you should totally get it. It's freaking great. And again, the art is great. The story's fun. The characters, there's a good grasp on who the characters are. And if you're only a fan of Guardians through the movies, you're not going to feel alienated and be like, wait, who's this? I think they did a good job of making it accessible for...
Way to bridge that gap.
Yeah. So anyways, let's go. That's good stuff, man. And so I also picked up...
So you had mentioned Superman.
Superman number 22, which is the third part of the Black Dawn. And it's a fun comic, man. You got to read it. So what were your thoughts?
My thoughts were, I feel like they tried incorporating a few story arcs back, Frankenstein and a couple other things.
Yeah.
And it felt kind of weird. This is incorporating darker, almost kind of mystery / horror aspects.
Yeah.
To where it kind of makes sense and it's super intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I got to end of this and I was really bummed that the next one's not out yet.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's good. And it's pretty Lois centric. Like Lois is doing her reporter stuff and she's
and
I love how
just,
she went and grabbed
her way out of stuff. She's written really well. It feels true to Lois. It doesn't feel like a forced kind of thing, but it's no, this is scrappy Lois just trying to figure out what's going on.
Scrappy Lois. If I had a Lois Lane action figure, I want scrappy Lois. I love the I don't know, Lois is since the animated series, she's always had purple eyes. I don't know if you've noticed that. And it's really pronounced in the coloring. And
there are a couple of frames, a couple cells where they kind of focus in on him.
Yeah. So
but spoilers, what the heck is going on with those neighbors? Was it last issue in 21 where Superboy he accidentally uses his heat vision and the girl makes it go around her?
Yeah, something's going on.
Touch her, and it's is this even the same girl before that?
I like it, man.
They're neighbors. It's rad. It's a really cool mystery. So Batman went to check things out. He's disappeared.
Yeah.
Superman went to go check it out. He disappeared. And then Damian and Jonathan, which I'm saying based on Super Sons and the stuff they've done here, you can just put them together as much as you want because their interaction is great.
Yeah, it's different than the Tim Drake Connor Connor Kent dynamic.
For sure.
But there's something about Superboy and Robin hanging out and disagreeing and being at odds.
We've
so it's fun.
Both talked about just our affinity for Connor Kent.
Yeah.
Superman. Superboy. But man, every time I read another issue of a comic with Jonathan Kent in it, it just wins me over more and more each time.
Yeah, he's an endearing character, and the good thing is so far it's really only been Peter Tomasi who's been writing him. So every time you read him,
consistency.
It's been a consistent voice for him. So again, Peter
Tomasi. Is Gleason on the art for
best.
this arc?
No, this is Doug Monkey. So Doug Monkey and Gleason have been kind of going back and forth on this. Teeth. I was hoping that there was some teeth stuff for you here, and
there actually wasn't this issue.
There wasn't.
No teeth to creep me out. Plenty of other things to creep out, but no teeth.
Oh, I actually love Doug Monkey's work,
but
man.
The layouts were interesting. I felt like stuff moved really well. It was really dynamic.
Yeah.
And then that final reveal on the back, you're like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah. That shot of Superman's pretty cool. He's got all the black goo on him.
Oh,
It's just cool. And that shot of the neighbor is actually pretty creepy, too. It's got
super creepy. What's that dude doing? And what did he do to Crypto when he talked to him?
I don't know, dude.
Because I think that was issue 21.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's good stuff. So Superman is just consistent.
Continues to be a great book.
I'm going to say Superman just as a whole, because it's been 22 issues of pretty nonstop awesome. Yeah. And maybe, with Frankenstein showing up in here,
they're going to tie it back in.
Yeah, so maybe that kind of random, those two issues
are going to be
part of it. Yeah, because I would say those were the lower point of the comic, but they weren't bad. It was just that was kind of random. What was going on with that and the swamp and everything? And
okay, so I think let's rate this book really quick, and then I have another tangent to go on.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna say this book is a gotta go. I can't rate it as a standalone. The whole series is a gotta go. And if
even
you're not
as an issue, I feel like it's a gotta go. it moves the story forward in a really interesting way by focusing on Lois. And so it kind of pulls you out and keeps you guessing as to what's going on.
Yeah.
As more people kind of get pulled into the middle of it.
100% agree.
So the tangent.
Yeah.
The use of Frankenstein in this, in DC's comics.
Yeah.
I will say, did you read Frankenstein Agent of Shade for New 52?
I don't remember. I read something, and I think I may have read the Frankenstein in Flashpoint. And
okay.
I'm getting...
That was kind of the start of it.
Yeah. So
I read that in New 52,
Yeah.
and I loved it.
So he was working for... He was like an agent, right?
Working for
Shade.
Shade, SHADE. Don't ask me what it stood for because I don't remember.
Something heroic.
But he had like
dumb.
a werewolf and a mummy and like that kind of... Like it was like a team of...
Yeah.
Kind of like Creature Commandos. Was that the Marvel one? I get them mixed up.
No, the Creature Commandos were in...
Or was that DC?
Yeah, you're thinking. I think you're thinking of the Howling Commandos. Oh man, I'm forgetting.
But then there's a version of the Howling Commandos that they did that was like monster versions of them that Marvel did. I feel like.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Creature Commandos then was DC thing, and so it's basically adapting them, but it was Frankenstein Agents of Shade.
Uh-huh.
And they would do like super spy stuff, but they're all like classic monsters, basically.
Just like the DC versions of them.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Anybody can do that stuff.
Because the DC version of Frankenstein is the same Frankenstein you've read in old stories. So he's been around forever.
Yeah.
And he just has no sense of humor and is just really dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
Almost think like Drax like doesn't get the irony and things, and just has a giant sword that he just like, and he can't die, so he's just taking dudes out, and it just was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really love the DC Frankenstein. Like
Grant Morrison wrote him back in the day, right?
He brought him in the Seven Soldiers.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Story, but he was in The Shade. He was in Justice League Dark. The last I remember reading of him was in New 52, Batman and Robin, where Bruce Wayne was trying to resurrect Damian, and so he was like going through like Frankenstein's, like Dr. Frankenstein's lab and trying to figure out how to resurrect. Anyways, he's just always
written by Tomasi.
Also written by Tomasi. Tomasi is Tomasi is like, he's not that superstar writer, dude, but he's really good. So
he's putting in the work.
Peter Tomasi, and remember, one of my favorite Green Lanterns was Isomat, and that's his name backwards. I don't know if you know that.
Oh,
yeah,
I remember that Green Lantern.
Remember Isomat? Was it Isomat Kroll? And he teamed up with the other guy, Val. It was like
the alligator-looking dude.
That's Isomat is the dinosaur-looking
dude.
And then
was he the one that got his arm blown off?
No. It was the guy he was teamed up with.
Yeah,
he had his legs broken. Like his legs got cut off,
and so used a construct.
And so no. Remember, he cut off his legs and gave them to him because he was amphibian, and his legs would go back.
Yeah, dude, so good.
And they never really kind of finished up any of that. Sorry, dude, tangent right there.
Pete Tomasi,
yeah,
we salute you.
We salute you. Cheers. We really did. So
we really did. Cheers.
So yeah, Frankenstein's fun. I like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And
that was just
Doug Monkey's usually drawing him. Like, I don't know who's drawn him. Like,
right? It is almost always
Doug Monkey drawing him. Oh, I think Gleason drew him
Gary
too.
Frank.
Gary Frank I don't know.
Did you draw him at all for?
I would love to see a Gary Frank version of him. I don't know who drew that. So
all right. Did you get any other comics this week?
I got Ninja Turtles Batman #6 for my son. He likes reading that. So, which reminded me, I didn't get issue #5. He's all, hey, I got you #6. He's like, Dad, we only have 4. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So
I'm gonna go in reverse order of stuff we're probably not going to talk about.
Oh,
first.
actually,
sorry,
I did get something else, but we're gonna talk about it together. Bug,
yes.
Bug #1.
Bug.
But
Adventures of Forager.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah.
So mine's pretty quick. Like the last few weeks have been pretty heavy weeks, and then this week was pretty light.
Yeah.
So I got, X-Men Blue #3. It's still just a fun book to me. Like it's kind
when
of.
When did 2 come out? Has it been bi-weekly?
2 weeks ago. It's bi-weekly.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So I'm giving this the first arc to see if I want to stick with it. I thought All New X-Men, when they brought the original 5 to the Future was a lot of fun, and so I'm curious to check it out again. And I think these first 3 issues have been good. I like the art. I think they're setting up really interesting things. They're introducing this original 5 set of X-Men to old villains, but for them, it's like the first time, which makes it really interesting. I don't want to spoil anything because I'll give you like maybe a stack of them. Like once we get a couple issues
would like
in.
to check it out.
But the dynamic they're setting up for the team makes it feel like kind of fresh and new, and I'm not quite sure where it's going. So I'm like, sweet, let's do it. And I'm sure you've read all this stuff. This is slightly spoilery, but they've had articles around about it for a few weeks now that a quick little backup story in issue 1 introduced Ultimate Wolverine as someone that's in this world.
Oh, for real? So
and is going to be joining that team potentially.
Huh.
The blonde Wolverine, like he's Wolverine's son in the Ultimate Universe.
Wait, isn't his name like Dracon or something like that? Or?
No. That's different. This guy's name, I think, is like James or something like that.
James Howlett.
Dude, I don't know. Who knows? But he was fighting. He was fighting Wendigo.
Okay.
Too, which was kind of cool. I'm like, that's kind of a cool callback to Wolverine's original stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's too many Wolverines running around.
Yeah. Now there's going to be 3 Wolverines. 'Cause there's Old Man Logan.
And then X-23 is Wolverine
X-23.
right now. And she's doing a fine job from all I can tell.
I just like the name X-23 better than Wolverine. It's just...
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah, it's a good comic. I'd say it's still a go.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe somewhere between a go and a let's go.
Okay.
It's not a gotta go for me. Like, it's a super compelling thing.
Yeah.
But it's good enough that I want to keep trying it and see where it goes. I've especially liked the dynamic they set up between Cyclops and Jean to where, did you know that eventually over the course of the last couple of years, she's the leader now? Cyclops isn't the leader. Jean is.
Okay, so my question is the last X-Men comics I was reading, because I was actually reading for a while the Bendis all new X-Men, where it was like the younger team came in.
I liked that.
And
that's where I started
again, David
well.
Marquez was doing that as well. He was trading off with the other guy who was drawing. I forget.
It was Immonen,
Stuart Immonen. Yeah. So which
was fantastic. His covers were so freaking cool.
Well, see, David Marquez would do fill-ins, and eventually it was kind of like a back and forth.
Right.
And I just feel David Marquez is really strong. Anyways, I really like his art. But that comic was really good, and I think I read it for a good while. Until I think I just
we both did.
Yeah, I don't know what got me out of it. Because I think I switched to Marvel Unlimited for a while and then stopped getting the singles, and then
I think we just stopped going to the shop for a while.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have just been life. You know, seriously, New 52 killed me. I just didn't care anymore. It was hard to go.
Tried, man.
New 52 killed me. Anyways, so my question is it that same Jean Grey, that young Jean Grey is leading?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's still all of the young team, those original guys. I don't know why Angel has fire wings right now, but he does. So I missed that.
It's X-Men confusing.
It is.
It's X-Men confusing. Thank you.
Because then it doesn't make any sense if they're doing all this stuff in the future.
On the level
what
of
if
X-Men
they undo
confusing,
things
where
in
is
the past after they know the stuff about the future? Are they going to know that once they grow up and get to this time?
No, because they are pulled out of that timeline before then. It's a blip. It started. It's like,
and I'll throw this out there, and then we'll be done talking about X-Men Blue. Beast is an aspiring mystic. He's learning spells and magic.
Oh, that sounds kind of dumb. That sounds dumb. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's weird.
That sounds
man.
dumb.
It's weird.
Like,
that part of it's weird, but I'm at least intrigued enough to try it. So
does he wear a hat, like a little special pointy hat?
Another book that I got,
I
haven't had a chance to read it because it's going to take some time, first of all, and I want to go back because it's been so delayed. I want to go back and read the other issues before it. AD After Death, number 3.
Hey.
Scott Snyder, Jeff Lemire. I'm really excited to read this. They have a lot to wrap up in a 3rd issue, so I'm curious to see how it lands and if they stick the landing. But I've really enjoyed it so far, the first 2 issues, and we can talk about that on a different show because I haven't read that yet. And then we also, to talk about, we'll put that on the docket for next week, is I was able, after our comic book, our local store was shorted, to get a copy of Youngblood #1.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of pumped to read it.
Dude, what was really fun is my experience reading Youngblood #1. I'll talk about it more next week, but just preview into that is I have 2 copies of the original Youngblood #1 from 25 years ago, a first printing and a second printing. And so just for the heck of it, I read Youngblood #1 from 1992. And then I read Youngblood #1 from 2017. And it was a fun experience. I'll talk about it next week so that you can have a chance to read it.
Yeah, that reminds me of, again, going back to our friend Logan, I talked to him about Free Comic Book Day, and he says, I wanted to get some Spawn, but I couldn't.
Dude, what is it about Spawn?
I was like, why? It's just, it made me laugh.
So funny.
And
I'll save my rating until next week as well, till we both read it.
Ooh, now
So
I got to come back.
Dude, you got to
Now I got to hear what you're going to
number
say.
13.
So,
All right,
okay.
so that gets us to
Bug,
Bug,
The
number 1.
Adventures of Forager.
Young Animal.
Yeah,
Pop-up
Young
imprint from DC.
Yep, going strong.
This is an all red.
It's all red.
All red.
Lee,
book
Bam,
all the
Michael,
time.
Laura, all red, all doing red things.
All
So
red.
yeah, so just
Tell me your thoughts, Justin.
oh man,
Start me off.
This was such a fun comic, man. So
Dude.
I don't know how much Michael Allred. I don't want to just say Michael Allred because it's really most of the stuff I read. He's done it with his wife. So there's a specific and a distinctive voice in the stuff they've done, and it felt like I was reading something like from the Atomics and from Madman. Some of the stuff he's done. If you haven't read any of his Madman or the Atomics, probably the best freaking comics out there. I actually want to get a collected edition if I can, just because it's something I don't want to dig for. I want to
Those are fun, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not something I read regularly, but I always kind of went back to that as like something I remember fondly.
Yeah.
Just as I was really starting to get deeper into comics, like past the kind of surface level superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Madman was kind of like that next thing
He's-
to kind of check out. Before we go any further into talking
Yeah.
about this, so just to clarify for everybody, if they haven't read it, Mike Allred is pencils.
Yeah.
I'm guessing inks as well.
Yeah, it just says like storytelling, basically. Like his wife usually does all the
Laura
coloring.
Allred did
Colorist.
the colors.
Yeah, she's always pretty much colors him. So he's got such a good style. It's
And
like
then
a
his
very
brother.
Yeah, his brother. It just says storytellers. So I don't know if they
Awesome.
both
So they probably
drew.
collaborated a lot, like on this.
So yeah, and we got Blambot on lettering, and so
Sorry. So back to
yeah.
talking about
So
the book.
just to set up, he has a very classic. It kind of feels like a throwback style to like 50s and 60s comics, and
Yep.
just weird and fun. And that's what Madman is, kind of like a love letter to that stuff. So again, I would just talk about Madman for like 2 hours. It's such a fun comic, and I remember for the longest time Robert Rodriguez was supposed to make a Madman film with Johnny Depp as Madman.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just too late for Johnny Depp to do it.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
that would have been so fun. Like it made, to me, that was like, that makes a lot of sense, you know? But this comic is fun, man, and I can see how some people may not like it. I can see how people might be like,
falls
oh,
into the category of young animal.
yeah,
as
it's
being
definitely weird. It's super weird.
It's super weird, but it kind of reminds me of the first issue of Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Which was like, this is really weird, but I'm super intrigued to see what the heck is actually happening.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like from the get-go, I had a different like expectation of this, I will say though, but it didn't ruin it for me. I thought it was going to be more of a lot of Jack Kirby stuff, and it's there, but as he wakes up, like there's this whole storyline. It's really weird. I feel like I need to read it again to kind of get it, because he keeps being reawoken, and every time he wakes up, he's in a different dimension. So first he's kind of dealing with people in like the fourth world, and he's dealing with like Orion, and I'm like, well,
I felt like this was almost like a memory kind of thing.
yeah, it was like he's remembering stuff, and I'm like,
But you get to see Batman punch
yeah,
out
well,
Orion.
I was going to get to that. So like, there's Orion. He's dealing with Orion and light rays in the background, and those are just some classic like,
Yeah,
Jack
New
Kirby
Gods.
guys, New Gods, yeah. But I'm like, oh, that looks like the old design of Orion and not the New 52 version, whatever. So I'm like, that's interesting. And then straight up, Batman is, blue shorts Batman, like,
Yeah.
but Superman's in the background there and light ray. So I don't know if this is like a Justice League memory and what's going on. I have no idea. And then he wakes up, he's in a cocoon, and so there's just all this weirdness going on, and like, what the heck is happening? And Then he ends up in some little girl's garage, and she's super weird. And there's a teddy bear who's giving commands to him.
Dominoes.
Yeah, the dominoes, and it's in the shape of a mother box. And he's just like, so I'm like, then my question was like, is he still out in freaking, not High Earth, a New Earth? Is he still like, we're in the New Gods universe? Like, do they have dominoes there?
Well,
So
I feel like they kind of talked about it a little bit, like that was.
Well, that's where he woke up. He woke up in
Sandman.
that.
Like he woke up in there, but he wasn't
Okay.
awake yet.
Yeah. Okay. Now I was gonna get to that.
He wasn't the woke world.
Yeah. So
He wasn't woke.
He wasn't woke. Stay woke, bro. Stay woke. And so then we get like the Golden Age Sandman. And it was cool because I saw there was a little picture of Dead Man. I was like, oh, I hope Dead Man shows up in this.
Well, can we talk about that page?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is kind of like a preview of like, hey guys, here's what's coming in this series.
Okay, cool.
That's what it felt like for me. So you have dominoes.
Yeah.
And you have a different character on each of these dominoes, and
Yeah.
they're all kind of classic characters.
There's
So you have
Sandman.
Metron on there was on one of them.
Yeah, you have Black Racer, Dead Man. You have those Omacs.
Oh yeah,
OMAC, but not the new not the new 52.
No,
but
it's
the
like classic.
Yeah, this is like OMAC with the Jack Kirby style OMAC.
So in the first thing you see up in that top corner too is Sandman,
Yeah,
and he says something that's exactly.
I'm the stuff dreams are made of.
And so then he says the same thing later when they're with him and they're fighting General Electric.
General Electric. It reminded me of 30 Rock.
Oh, see, it reminded me of the Tick. I feel like that's like the type of like names that those characters would have.
Oh man, so
That was great to me, man. Like,
Yeah.
so the story for me, the writing was really interesting because it walked a fine line. And here was my thought with this. Maybe in retrospect, because we've kind of slammed the current Man-Thing comic that's out there by R.L. Stine. This almost gave me insight into like, I wonder if this was what he was trying to do, but it didn't land.
maybe okay
Because there were multiple times where like the two like monster guys that are with Sandman, and forgive me if I'm supposed to know who they are and I don't, but
I don't know.
two like monster guys with him.
Yeah.
One kind of looks like a brain,
Yeah,
and the other one he called him Stinky.
yeah.
He's like, "What are we gonna do?" And the brain guy says the same thing we do every night.
Yeah.
Stinky, try to save
Yeah, just like Pinky
the
and the
waking world, and just like Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
And there's one quote before that, a few pages before that, where it was totally a pop culture reference. But for me, it kind of like was funny and was like goofy enough to where I'm like, yeah, everything around this is just totally goofy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel bad to where like R.L. Stine writing Man-Thing, it's like dad jokes that just feel like really painful. So I don't know. Did that feel like it felt like the right kind of cheesy to where like this is just kind of a crazy fun story that I just want to roll with it. Like I'm not mad about those call outs and those references.
It is very, again, it's the tone that the Allreds are sit in. It feels very much like what they're used to when they're writing. Either because I feel like when they team up with somebody, because when they did the Ecstatics and X-Force, it was Peter Milligan who was writing it, and he wrote really well to their style. And again, if you never read any of those books, dude, those are like some fun comics right there. So you check them out. Anybody, if you're listening, check out the Ecstatics and X-Force by Malcolm Allred. Really fun books, you know. So if you've ever seen the character Dupe, that came out of out of those books. So
nice.
So yeah, this comic was just fun comics, man. I don't have any like it didn't blow me away and like you gotta get this, because I don't think if you're just a casual fan of reading like superhero comics, this might be too weird for you. I think it's definitely not like mainstream at all, which I think is good. I think it's gonna serve its purpose. It feels like it's hard to get because like.
Yeah, that was one aspect of it that was kind of frustrating for our shop.
Yeah.
Only ordered 8 copies, I think, he said. And those were gone by the time I got there. Mm-hmm. And then he went to look it up to order for me, and it was already showing low stock. So I'm wondering, like, did people just kind of, I don't know, like, they didn't give it credit. Like they didn't think it was going to do what it needs to do, or maybe Young Animal stuff is just kind of falling more into a niche to where they're like,
maybe that's what
let's
it
just
is.
kind of like take it easy on the amount that we're ordering.
It's fun. I can't wait to see where it goes. You know, it feels like a good companion to, like, obviously the Young Animal stuff, but it kind of made me feel the fun that the Commandy stuff feels like. Just that fun adventure kind of throwback.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
fun. Like, you know what? You want to roll it up, put it in your back pocket, grab a orange creamsicle, popsicle, go in your
there's something
treehouse
classic about it.
and read these comics. And
There's something timeless
fun.
and modern about it at the same time for me.
Yeah.
Like the style of storytelling, of like what the characters are saying and the names and the different things like that. Like that's like super throwback, super classic. But then the story structure is really modern, and you're like, wait, hold on, what's happening?
Yeah.
And by the way, I was just looking through it, and I found the other reference that I
what
thought,
was it?
and I thought it was really funny. And I think it's just this one like brain-looking kind of like short guy
Yeah.
monster that says these phrases, but he said they're talking about releasing the vile things to scare him, and as they're doing it, he says, "Vile things, I think I love you."
I totally missed that.
And even like Sandman, when he's starting to
funny.
fight Bug at the first,
Yeah.
at first he was like, "Pleasant dreams." Like it's just stuff like that. I'm like, I'm all right with that, dude. Like it's just campy enough to be fun, but not like you're taking yourself. Maybe that's what it is. It doesn't feel like they're taking themselves seriously.
Oh yeah, but I just
In a good way.
pleasant dreams. It's, the word balloon is the big jagged pointy one.
Oh, that will be one other thing I will say.
Yeah,
So the pow and kablam and stuff like that.
the onomatopoeias.
Did you notice the different things they used and how they used it? There were some really good ones.
Splorch.
No, there were some that were just literally like a phrase.
Bug, wake
So
up.
he's talking, so the bear is talking to him, and where that kind of fades out, it's so bored and ignored, like to kind of drown out the bear. Like there's just like these random little things, or like she grabs the bear from him when he goes to poke it, and it just says protect.
Oh, okay.
And so the onomatopoeias and those kind of like little exclamations are all actually kind of funny too. Just kind of random.
I thought it was when I was reading those. I thought that it was her. Like to me, it felt like it was telepathic or something.
Oh no, I think
So-
that's totally the onomatopoeias, just in a really funny way.
That's funny. I didn't. That makes it even better then.
Or one of them, it was glare.
Oh my
She's
gosh,
glaring
dude!
at him, you know?
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. Because then it's like touch, and that makes it funnier. Oh my gosh, dude!
Protect.
So you made this way more enjoyable. I was already enjoying it, and now,
There's a lot there.
yeah, I love kind of on the nose
Swap,
things.
replace, like when she's moving the dominoes.
Topple. Okay. Click, click. Oh yeah, because then when the dominoes start falling, it's all click, 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 pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. So I think that one page is kind of our key to what we're going to be seeing in this.
What page? The one where the dominoes are when it has all the cameos.
Yep, has the characters on it. Like those are all like, okay, this is stuff we're going to see him interact with over this, which is kind of exciting because we haven't seen Rebirth. We're coming up on a year right now, like in another week or two, and there hasn't really been much of any New Gods stuff.
No. Yeah, nothing. Like,
Which is really interesting, unless you count. Dude, we're all about the rabbit trails tonight.
yeah, I'm down.
Unless you count the things here and there that Tom King tweeted a couple weeks ago.
What did he say again? Oh, with
It was like little pictures where it looked like Big Barda and Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Miracle and a couple other things. I'm like, dude, if Tom King's one of his next projects is
I love the
New Gods, like I'm 100% in.
See, the New Gods, I think, work good. I've always enjoyed them more when they were a part of like Superman stories or Justice League stories. Like Mr. Miracle when he was in the Justice League,
There's
I liked
such
it.
an interesting
Barda.
contrast to the superheroes. I think
Yeah.
that's why they work so well.
Yeah, if you have time, read the Justice League International stuff from Keith Giffen and DeMatteis. They did, and Kevin McGuire, like such a good stuff. And when they brought the Mr. Miracle in and Barda and like their little buddy Oberon, that was good stuff. And then Light Ray came in and whatever. He was kind of lame, but those characters are fun, man. Like they have. Excuse me, you have to cut that. That was dumb. Those characters are really fun, and I think they still make sense now. Like when you almost have to look at them through tongue in cheek. Superman, the animated series used them really well. Like, I mean, Darkseid's one of the greatest DC villains, and he comes out of that. Like, we forget. I would love to see these characters on film. Like Orion, he's like the only one that kind of like made it out of the New 52. He was in Wonder Woman for a little bit. I don't know what happened to him. And they did a nice little redesign of him. And, a lot of those New 52 concepts still exist as they filter through the Rebirth, in whatever you want to call it, the Rebirth, like reconstruction of everything. So, I'm excited. It feels like we're not going to just get Jack Kirby stuff. It's Jack Kirby in scale and concept, which makes sense with the whole, again, going back to the Commandy stuff, like with his 100-year anniversary or whatever, to do a Jack Kirby-like story. If it jumps through the DC universe, that'd be kind of fun. Different places.
That's what this feels like. It feels like a means to kind of bring in some different corners of the DC universe multiverse that wouldn't make sense in doing it in Rebirth.
Yeah,
alone.
I like this.
And so Bug or Forager, whatever you want to call him, like it just...
I can't tell you my name.
It's a means for us to be able to have access to other characters, which is really exciting for me. And I really want to see Mike Allred's take artistically on some of these guys too.
Yeah, he's just he's got such a great style. I like it. I mean, if you don't like his style, there's something wrong with you. It's classic and fun.
Something
there
wrong.
You go. You are
wrong.
You are a trash juice.
Topple
to you. So okay. So what do you want? What are you gonna rate it, buddy? What are you gonna rate it, Matt?
I'm gonna rate it a let's go.
Okay.
Because I'm still early into it. Like, kind of see like where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm a little more reserved when it comes to giving out gotta goes.
Yeah.
I would say this is a strong let's go. And I read Justin's copy, and I'm excited to have my copy come to the shop in another couple weeks because I want to have this.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's a let's go as well for now. And I only say that with just the qualifier that it may not be for everybody. Is all I'm saying. It might just be like, man, if I was going to get someone to read comics, I wouldn't give them this. This is too... I think it's too much.
It's pretty insider.
Yeah, it's actually really insider, and it's not like, hey man, check out this really cool comic. You'd be like, what the hell?
You're not gonna get
on?
well. You're not gonna get things like the cell where he's standing there saying like Metron would be all like, and he's like making fun of Metron. Like, you're not gonna get that if you don't know who Metron is. Like, I'm not gonna like hand this off to my wife. She's gonna ask me, who's that? Why is he waking up?
Yeah, who's
this guy he's talking about? So
why is he wearing like
it's a let's
tights
go,
from LuLaRoe?
Where can I get those?
Where can I get those LuLaRoe pants? Oh man, there you go. That's gonna be the title of the show.
That's good, man.
So yeah, that's
like
a gotta
that.
go.
It's
sorry,
a gotta go.
Cut that back. So yeah, man. So Bug is a solid let's go.
Let's go.
So check it out, you guys. Please check it out. And if it's sold out in your store, go digital. Because you know what? I one of the things, little side note, rabbit trails all night. I've been getting Injustice 2 on the DC app, and it's a fun story. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I actually have like the full Injustice, like all 5 like seasons of the comic before.
No way. I haven't read any of that.
Somebody just kind of said, "Oh, you should check it out," and I had a gift card for iTunes, and I just bought 20 of them. Like, okay, fine, because it was already going on for a while, and I zipped through them, dude. They were really fun, and I feel like the first few issues are actually more of I felt like not a rip, but like it was when they just started doing the digital initiative, and it was like they're all 99-cent issues, and so it's really just like one giant panel almost, and you're just like, there's like 12 pages. Anyways, good. I thought it was compelling, and there's actually some really good stuff in those stories.
That's cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say was Harley Quinn and Green Arrow kind of have like a good kind of back and forth rapport. Not like romantically, but it's just kind of, they had some good character moments. And he's all, I have to take you to the Arrow Cave. And I'm paraphrasing. And she's like, Arrow Cave? You should call it the Quiver. And he's like, that's actually really good. So like, there's funny. A point where she's hanging out and she calls it the Quiver. So she kind of takes over his spot after something happens. And anyways, the Injustice comics are really fun, but I've been reading the new ones and pretty good. I hate Batman's design, but other than that, it's a cool like alternate universe take. And if you're not checking that out, I'm going to give it a let's go. Nice. The Injustice digital comic. I don't buy the issues that come out when they combine like 3 issues together because they'll put it the print like after like one a month or something. I just buy them weekly on the digital. It's fun. Nice. Speaking of which, next week Injustice 2 comes out. So
Injustice 2. Are you getting it?
We'll see what happens. I want to. I'm going to try to.
I have an outdated system, so
there you go. I have to do it.
I have to rely on friends like you or other friends.
Delon was like, "Are you going to get it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, because I want to play it." I'm like,
"Dude, I want to play that so bad." Yeah. I downloaded the mobile version.
Mm-hmm. I did too,
and it's really lame.
Is it? Yeah, it's really bad. I only did like the first like training. It was like I'm fighting a bunch of Gorilla Grots.
So slow.
The last one was really fun.
The last one was fun. This one,
maybe I got really high up there.
It once the real game comes out, the console game. But it is.
I actually spent money on the last one. I remember actually using like money to like, oh man, I got to upgrade my guy. Dude, I can't be getting beat up. Yeah,
I would give the mobile version a go. Like I'm not going to judge you if you do it, but it's not super great.
It's it's great like bathroom entertainment probably.
That's true.
But it's definitely not something I'm trying to like play all the time. The last one was cool though because it did give you XP points for your game. You could link it up to like.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, whatever.
Anyway, Injustice 2. Hey, let us know if are you picking that up? Like, what are you excited about for that?
Yeah, let us know. And hit us up. How would they do that, Matt?
Dude, if they're gonna hit us up as a show, not as individuals, that'd be at Let's Go Comic Show on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And you can also email us the old-fashioned way, let's go comic show @gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
What if they just want to get an 800 tweet long argument with you, Justin?
About the Dark Knight Rises? Yeah, you can get me on Twitter at @J_Rocca on Twitter. And I'm always down to talk about the Dark Knight on Twitter. You hit me up, Dark Knight Rises fans.
And then I'm Matt Ritchie, MatTricchey on Twitter as well. If you want to,
Matt is very safe.
I will argue about
you won't
the
get
Dark Knight Rises too.
Matt just makes points. This is dumb.
Yeah, the Dark Knight Rises was not good, and it ruined the first 2 movies before it.
Wow. Okay, so there is talk of doing like a 3-part episode crossover with Batman on Film.
Oh man,
with us.
Bring it.
Robin, Everybody Loves the Drake podcast. And it's going to be a 3-hour like slugfest. So I don't know how we're going to do this.
Dude, that's going to be rough.
Because
I'm going to be outnumbered.
You know what? I think it's actually pretty even. I feel the only people that are really pro are the guys on BOF, and I think the guys on the Everyone Loves the Drake show, besides Ryan, are kind of pro like our viewpoints. I'm pretty sure, but we'll see. Well, anyways,
I respect those other viewpoints.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm down for like a friendly back and forth.
Yeah.
Which that's what it would be. But when people get like, you're an idiot, because you get some people that are just like, whoa.
That's like people attacking Nick Spencer, the writer of Secret Empire, Secret Squirrel.
Oh.
Secret War. Secret.
I thought you said Secret Squirrel.
I did.
Did you?
I'm just trying to give you a hard time because you can't keep the name straight.
That's there you go.
But yeah, for Secret Empire, like people like that don't like the story, which is like that's fine. You don't have to like the story, but you also don't need to call him a horrible person for writing it. Like,
he's a writer.
He is a writer writing a story about fictional people.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You know, and it happens in comics.
So hit us up on social media. The other thing I thought of hitting us up on social media as well, guys, in relation to our Trash Juice segment earlier. Is there a good comic book news website that we should be checking out? Because I feel like they're few and far between these days. I had to stop following Screen Rant because I feel like they started putting spoilers in their titles leading up to Guardians of the Galaxy. So I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
CBR is doing lists.
CBR in their lists.
Bleeding Cool. I feel like I get more of their opinion than the actual news.
Yeah, most places have all turned into opinion. Newsarama is still okay.
All right.
Yeah, they're more of
But
an aggregate site. I feel like
listeners,
they aggregate and which is fine.
Yeah.
I just
where should we be getting our news from, listeners?
Yeah, let us know where are you getting all your hot news. I don't have a problem with Bleeding Cool. Sometimes I think they do too many like scoops and spoilers. That's kind of like their bread and butter, and they don't need to do that. But one other thing we would love is if you guys can write us a review on iTunes. That would be amazing. That's super helpful. And if you don't mind, my friend, I would like to read one of our reviews.
Oh, let's do that.
This is from Harry Harold. Your Sherpas in the mountains of comics. There are so many comics and so much comic paraphernalia that it can overwhelm your life. Don't let it. Matt and Justin have the uncanny ability to bear the burden of all that knowledge on your behalf, and the humor, charm, and je ne sais quoi to distill said knowledge into a tasty podcast. Listen and let the sweet nectar of comics news and entertaining discussion fill your belly.
Dude,
there you go.
Don't go for the trash juice. Go for the sweet nectar.
Go for the sweet nectar. Don't go for the trash juice. Go for the sweet nectar. I want to read these in like Adam
Comic
West
Sherpas.
Batman.
I feel like we just got an upgrade, dude. We just leveled up.
Great way to get caught up on some of what's happening in the world of comics.
You are Sherpas for the comic book world.
There you go. So okay.
There's an answer.
Now we're getting Matt Ritchie's Bane.
The people.
That's what I want. I want Adam West versus Tom Hardy Bane. Let's make that happen.
Gosh.
That movie needs to happen. All right, you guys.
That's it. We're gonna.
That is it. We
now.
are done. My name's Justin.
I'm Matt.
Let's go.
Let's go.